This is Radio 4 from Norwich. Now here's the East Anglian News, read by Michael Drake. Students at the University of East Anglia have admitted responsibility for an elaborate practical joke played on people living in a Broadland village. The hoaxers convinced the people of Horning that Coypu, large South American water rats which live in the Broads, were carrying a mysterious disease. 35 students, claiming to be government scientists, questioned villagers and issued leaflets warning of the dangers of touching the animals. They also set up roadblocks and disinfected motorist wheels. A spokesman for the students said it was a rag stunt and they were sorry if they'd caused any alarm.
No, not this river, no. All right, thank you very much, sir, that's all. I'll take one of those.
You've never been here?
No. Are you a Norfolk man at all?
No, no.
You're picking them today, aren't
No, I'm just looking for some friends who live up here.
Well, on the way up, you didn't see any dead Coypu or even any in the road or by the road at all?
No?
No, we didn't, no.
Pardon my ignorance, what is a Coypu?
A Coypu is a sort of large rodent animal.
Large
Rodent animal.
No.
But I haven't seen originated in South America. Oh.
Could you go and get the warnings for me?
Oh, I think that just about writes off the rest of our questions, actually.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. If you should see any, large traffic all over the place. I'd like to know, please, have you seen any dead Coypu in this area within the last 3 months?
No, I haven't.
Are you a local?
Yes.
In Horning itself?
Yes.
And about how often do you go down to the river down in the village itself? Very frequently or not at all?
Not very frequently.
Just two. Have you any knowledge of any damage caused by the animals in this area?
No, I haven't.
Last one, have you heard any talk about a possible epidemic to be caused by these animals?
No.
You haven't?
Thank you.
If you'd just like to wait where your wheels are sprayed, it's very much the same.
Yes, sir. The card. And it's to do with Coypu in the area. Can we just ask you one or two questions about whether you've seen any here? This is Department of Bacteriological Research.
Yeah.
We're from Wiltshire, in fact.
Yes.
Sorry, the press have got in on it too.
Yeah.
Have you seen any dead Coypu in the area in the last 3 months? Have you seen any Coypu at all in the last 3 months?
I've never ever seen one at all.
Oh, Lord. How often do you go down to the river here at Horning? Do you know?
Oh, fairly often.
You keep a, well,
Yes, yeah.
daily, or...
Well, I live on the river.
Yeah, well, quite. And so you'd see Coypu if there were any, and you'd see dead bodies if they washed up, probably.
Yes, no, I've never ever seen one.
Okay, well, fine, thanks very much indeed. Thank you. No, hold on to it, do.
A few questions.
If possible.
Could you tell me, are you a local man yourself, or
I am now. I don't sort of originate from down here.
you're living in Horning itself?
No, Norwich.
Norwich. Could you tell me, have you seen any Coypu within the last 3 months?
No.
Especially, you've seen no dead Coypu at all on the side of the road or anything?
No, not that I can recall.
Have you heard any talk about damage caused by these animals in this area?
Read about it, not actually heard.
And have you heard anybody talking about a possible epidemic caused by these animals?
Again, read about it.
You've read about it?
That's in the local press, of course.
Thank you. And how often do you come through Horning itself?
Very regular.
Very regular.
Very regular. Well, you'll see from the van.
Right, that's all, sir. Sodding, have you sprayed these tyres? Right, that's all. Thank you very much.
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
If you do see any, would you please contact the people listed below? Any one of the people. Thank you very much, sir.
Right, well.
You've got to do this one.
What's the name?
What's that? And can I just ask one or two questions? Have you seen any dead Coypu in the area?
No.
In the last 3 months?
No.
Any Coypu at all during the last 3
No.
months? Are you a resident of Horning?
No, I live at Ormsby.
Yep. How often do you go down to the river here?
Well, this is the first time this season.
Okay, we'll just spray your wheels with disinfectant.
Yeah,
It's nothing
that's
more
fine.
odorless than that. Thanks very much indeed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, fine, thank you. Sorry to trouble you. If you just have that and immediately at your leisure, as it were. Have you seen any dead Coypu in the area in the last 3 months?
No.
Have you seen any Coypu at all during the
No.
last 3 months? Are you a resident in Horning?
No.
How often do you go down to the river here?
Never.
You don't, ever? No, that's simply done. Have you heard anything about bacteriological disease being spread by Coypu?
No.
Okay, fine, thanks very much indeed. One woman had to actually see my card. She said, "To whom am I addressing?" She said. 3 months.
Not in the last 3 months.
So we're just spraying your wheels with disinfectant, nothing more than that. Okay, well that's fine. If you could just wait whilst we finish. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you.
No,
Any dead or alive Coypu, that is. Are you a resident in Horning?
no.
So how often do you come down to the river here?
We've been down about 3 times this week.
This week? And you've seen no Coypu at all during that
Not
time?
at all, no.
Have you heard any talk about epidemic being spread by Coypu at all?
No, nothing.
Okay, well we're just disinfecting your car wheels. After that, you can drive on fine. Thanks very much. Drive on.
We often do see the Coypu van go past the door, so evidently they must know they're near.
Well, thank you very much for your help, madam. Thank
Okay.
you. Bye-bye.
Oh, I've seen it. The whiskery
Yes,
thing.
sort of like a large rat, sir.
Yes,
rather
with a
fat.
whisk-
How big are they?
About 2 foot in body length, about 3'6" overall, including the tail.
really?
Yeah, so quite large animals. With sort of yellow teeth. Sorry?
Like an otter. whiskers.
Similar, yes, with whiskers, similar to an otter, but rather fatter, especially around the hindquarters. If you should see any, I'd be obliged if you could contact one of the people listed on the sheet
Oh,
there.
word.
okay.
I rather think we, because I often see the van go past with Coypu control on
Oh, we
it.
have it round
Yes,
our
round
end.
Ling.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank
sir.
you.
All right, bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Nick, could you go to the top end and do some? Miss Jones, if you could do some as well, sorry. First of all, where are we? I'll give you a warning. From the Department of Bacteriological Research, anyway. We get that done. There's that. Have you seen any dead Coypu in the area in the last 3 months? You haven't seen any Coypu at all? Are you a resident of Horning? Yeah. Now, how often do you go down to the river here at Horning?
Quite often during the summer.
Yeah. But during that time you've never seen any Coypu at all?
No.
Have you heard any talk about epidemic being spread by the Coypu
No.
in this area? Oh, that's fine. If we could just disinfect your wheels. Sorry, could you come here, please? Just briefly. Oh, they've been done already. Sorry. Off you go. Thanks. Yeah, cheers then. Yeah, thank you.
Wouldn't know what one looked like.
You haven't seen any Coypu at all then? Ever? Do you live in Horning?
No.
Have you ever been down to the river here at Horning?
No.
You haven't at all?
No.
Okay. Have you heard any talk about an epidemic being spread by the Coypu?
No.
No, not ever. If you could just disinfect your car tyres. because we've several Coypu have been washed up here on the riverside.
What are they actually?
There's a big rodent. It's about sort of 3'6" by quite large, the largest living rodent.
Never seen one.
Yes, I thought of that.
That's right. They're very large rats, and they've been washed up here and died not from natural causes, but from some germ which we've isolated. But we haven't found out exactly whether it's harmful to human. Well, we know it's not harmful to humans and livestock, but we don't know quite, what it is.
Have you seen any Coypu within the area in the last 3 months?
I live there. How long have you lived there? Never seen one.
You've never seen one at all?
Never seen one.
Okay, none of this that I've seen them, have
Can
they?
you just hold them whilst we disinfect the wheels, please?
Yes, would you mind if we just disinfected the wheels to stop the spread of them?
This is a joke, isn't it?
No, we're from the Department of Bacteriology.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes.
Leave our cow alone. Leave our cow.
Yeah, get a bit of...
Keep it, haven't you?
That's his identification.
Heaven forbid, no. Have you got a warning?
We walk up there, they have a cup of tea. I live here.
Have you got one of those?
I've got two.
Oh, you got one already. Oh, that's all right. Oh,
We should have gone on
you can hold
the
on to those. Okay.
I'm getting a lot of help in here.
Oh, yeah, it sounds as if they're being very helpful. Thanks very much, so anyway.
Righto. What do you do if we see one, anyway?
Well, if you could write, there are 3 addresses on the on those. If you could write to them, only dead ones. I mean, we don't mind that live ones. Heavens. Okay. Thank you.
I'd just like to answer a couple of questions. Have you seen any dead Coypu in the area within the last 3 months?
No, I've only been here since yesterday.
Oh dear.
Actually, I don't know what Coypu looks like.
But you have seen one? Or you have?
No, I haven't. I know what a Coypu is, but I haven't actually seen one.
Okay, well if you do see any, could you mention it right to one of those addresses, any of them?
Yes.
Because we're slightly worried about it. And you're not resident in Horning in that case? No. Just having a holiday. Okay, well have a nice time. Thanks a lot. Bye.
If you take one of those. Have you seen any Coypu in the area in the last 3 months?
I've only been here today. So
Oh, I see. Well, have you seen any Coypu at all?
No.
Have you been here before?
no,
Never.
never.
And not to Horning? Okay, well, that's fine. And you haven't seen any Coypu then in that brief time even?
No, we haven't.
Okay. We're just disinfecting your car tyres, if that's right, because several Coypu have been washed up down by the river, and they're not from natural causes, and they've isolated the germ, but they don't know exactly what it is. It's not harmful to humans or animals, but we're obviously having to sort of isolate the village, as it were. Thanks anyway.
Okay, thank you.
We're working for East Anglian Television. I wonder if you mind asking a few questions?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, what you got?
Well, apparently, I don't know if you've noticed, there's supposed to be a Coypu epidemic in the region. I wondered if you actually knew what one was.
What
Have
kind?
you heard about it?
No.
No?
No, I hadn't heard news of Coypus.
Well, apparently
By-
something
by the
washed up
water?
By the river, yes.
Yes. But I haven't heard nothing about
You haven't heard
it.
anything
No.
about it?
You ask Mrs. Devereux. Mrs. Devereux, don't take me. Have you heard? There's a Coypu.
Have you heard about the Coypu epidemic in the village?
No.
No?
Is there one? No.
Well, apparently, we just wondered if you knew what one was, if you knew what one looked like. You know,
It's a rat,
had you
isn't
seen any? Yes.
Yes.
You've seen any about recently?
No. Haven't seen any.
Not at all.
Ever. I've seen them, yeah, I've seen them, but I didn't know there was so many about.
Have you seen any recently?
Haven't seen any? No. I saw one dead when we were on the marshes last year, but I mean,
Last year, but it wasn't, you know, last 3 months.
No, I haven't seen it. There's not that many about. I haven't heard anything. Oh dear, I've never heard. No, whoever's complaining about them.
Are they complaining?
Well, that's the Department of Biological Research's name.
Oh, I haven't heard nothing.
You've done the wrong day. Everybody phoned them today.
Right.
I saw clues today down here.
Good job then. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Are you a resident in Horning?
No,
You're not, you're just visiting, are you?
I live at Neatshead.
Ah, I see. I wondered if you knew that there was a Coypu epidemic at the moment.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't? Well, actually, it's only just happened. They've closed off the village, you see, at both ends, and because a few Coypu have been washed up. And the thing is that they carry these disease. You see, it's not actually harmful to people or so forth, but it is certainly very worrying. They're from the Department of Bacteriological Research. So I wonder if, have you ever seen a Coypu, in fact?
No, I haven't. Not in reality.
Yeah. Do you know what they look like?
I do. I've seen it on television.
Oh, little squashed rat things.
Yes, horrible.
Pardon?
Big squashed rat
Big
things.
squash. Well, they're about 2'6" from end to end. Squashed, fat and flat, really. That's all.
No.
Right, have you had experience of Coypu then? When?
Our dog used to catch them. True, until one bit her. Then she never caught another one. She used to just catch them and leave them lying on the garden path.
How long, in fact, will you be working here tonight?
Tonight?
Yes.
5:30.
I see. You know the village is closed off now. You have to go through
You are getting me at it, aren't you?
Can you at it?
You must be, I mean, you know.
Why should we be?
I can't think. I shall work it out in a minute.
Obviously, you haven't been out. I mean, there are roadblocks at each end of the village. You can go out, obviously. I mean, all that happens is that you are sort of instructed about what is going on and so forth, and the wheels of your car are sprayed because they're obviously the things.
Have they done mine? Is that here?
No, they'll do it when it goes out of the roadblock. Well, you see, the wheels of your car.
I know
are the
I'm
things
very
that
vulnerable,
touch.
but I don't think I'm quite so vulnerable as that. Good
Well,
one.
I'm trying to
These
conduct a
Coypu have all
fairly
come out of the river, have they?
No.
Are they attacking us?
It's not like a Hitchcock film, no. It's a few have been washed up, you see.
Yes,
A few have been washed up, you see. And this has been reported to us from, and obviously to the people from the Bacteriological Research Base.
Oh, it's terrible.
And they're just
isn't
up here to sort it all out, hopefully.
Oh, I hope they do, yeah.
Yeah, so do
I wouldn't like them coming up these stairs here, because I would have a job getting down again, wouldn't they?
Well, you never know. I mean, they've got great big teeth, you know, about 6 feet long. And
Yeah, I know, well, they bit our dog.
Is your dog still alive?
No, poor soul. Perhaps that's what it was it?
It probably was, yeah. Yes. Well, it's very kind of you to talk to us. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you. Right, then I thought, God, you were a bit offensive, but I didn't mean to be.
Well, you know, it's really difficult giving interviews to people who are laughing their heads off.
But that's just bloody stupid. I mean, you saw our dog catch these Coypus and, well, it's just ludicrous, isn't it?
Yes.
But they really are frightened that they're bringing disease, or what?
Yes, that's there. But I mean, it's not specific disease that attacks humans or anything like that, apparently. It's a sort of vague disease that's there and which has to be got
But
rid
why
of.
suddenly today, after I've seen Coypus all my life, having lived here?
Because apparently a few have been washed up and the police got in touch with...
Wondering why they died or something.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to continue.
Carry on with everyone laughing.
Yeah, probably.
Bye-bye.
Have you ever seen a Coypu?
No.
Do you know what it is?
I think it's rat, isn't it?
It's a what?
Rat.
Yeah, it's a sort of rat. Have you seen any around here lately?
No.
No. Have you ever seen one like that?
No.
No, you haven't. Well, see, the thing is that there's a Coypu epidemic, apparently, and it's centred around Horning. Did you know that the town was, in fact, closed off at the moment?
Yes.
You did? Have you been through the
I've
roadblock?
just come back from school and
I see. And you had your wheels sprayed and so forth? You got all the leaflet and information about it?
well, I didn't because there's somebody who brings me home from school and we take them
I see, yes.
and I didn't get one.
Ah. Would you like to have one?
Yes.
I see.
Please.
What do you think about this epidemic? Are you worried about it?
Well, not really.
Why not?
Because, well, when we were there and we got that pamphlet, the man said it's not really, something that will just come at you.
It's not contagious either. You don't get a disease from it.
No.
So you think you're all right, do you? I see. Well, thanks very much indeed. We're from the Department of Biological Research, and we're doing something about Coypu. I wonder if you could just take this. And could you answer a couple of questions, please? Do you live in Horning? What do you say this research is for?
Well, apparently there's been an epidemic of Coypu. Something been washed up on the shores over there, and we're trying to isolate the germ. And apparently Horning is a sort of the centre of the trouble. So we're trying to do a survey. It's perfectly harmless, so there's no need to worry about it. Just wonder if you'd seen any in the last couple of months. Do you know what they are, Coypu?
No, I don't know what you're
Oh, I
talking about.
see. Oh, well, Coypu...
I've the clue.
Well, they're sort of
Any
like...
more sampling bags, Brian, please?
No, sorry, I haven't got any.
Yeah, just Terry got them.
So you may have, I don't know. Yes, they're like enormous rats, really, but they're quite harmless to people. They're rather ugly things, but they're particularly rampant around this area. But if you don't know about them, it doesn't really matter too much. No. Okay, you can go on. Thanks a lot. Sorry to disturb you, sir. You'll be famous. You'll be on telly. Are you from Anglia?
Yes, we are. Well, actually, we're an independent unit working for the agencies.
Independent unit?
Independent, working for the agencies.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Are you sure?
Staying here, do you?
Can you do it over there? Do you think somewhere?
Oh, yes. Well,
Okay. Do you think? Yeah. We don't really want the police being filmed.
okay.
Can you just demonstrating a fucking great big con all the people in the area at this very moment? Adam is bullshitting that policeman something terrible. The Eastern Evening News have succumbed to our devious plans, and we're about to leave, having completely confused the whole of Norfolk.
So you think you've been a tremendous success in...
Yes, we've discovered several about the Coypu. In fact, the Coypu is basically an animal with its... oh yeah, we really got him. The Coypu with its long chain molecules is basically quite a dangerous animal for polyvinyl saturates and industrial... Polyvinyl saturates. To the layman, that's a sort of, like PVC and things.
Thank you very much.
And God, blimey, we're all cool of kid in this. Like, oh, what a load of wallies. Anyway, we've been... Turn the thing off, I've had enough.
This is BBC One for the Eastern Counties. Good evening to you and welcome to the Lookie Studios in Norwich. Well, tonight's programme at 6 o'clock has more than somewhat a watery aspect about it. At Ipswich we go aboard the last of a fleet of Spritzel barges owned by a local malting firm. She's the Ina, and one of her claims to fame is that she helped at the evacuation of Dunkirk. Well, tomorrow she sets out once again for those beaches to celebrate the 35th anniversary of those heroic days. Well, last night, you may recall, we were discussing rabies or hydrophobia. Well, tonight it's the turn of aquaphobia. A young woman from Bedford will be describing what it was like to suffer from an extreme fear of water. And an animal that spends a good deal of its time in the water is the Coypu. Well, the people of Horning in Norfolk know all about it, as they've just been the subject of a Coypu practical joke. The details of which will be in Lookies tonight, which will, of course, as ever, will be in deadly earnest on BBC One at 6 o'clock. The Eastern Counties. Now look east with Nationwide.
Good evening to you. In Look East tonight, we celebrate the anniversary of Dunkirk with a trip aboard one of those gallant sailing ships. We dip into the Thursday Post bag and reveal how a Norfolk village found itself the centre of a scare that wasn't over these little fellas. All that, plus your local news in Look East in a moment. Well, it's not the first time that the villagers of Horning down on the Norfolk Broads have been taken for a ride. Several summers ago, the local vicar ceremoniously crowned and kissed the village beauty queen, who turned out to be his teenage son in drag, and of course the hoax hit the headlines. This morning, the villagers woke up to read in their local paper that they were facing an epidemic of diseased Coypu, and even the Guardian's front page gave a prominent position to a story about a hunt for these infected rodents. Hoax number 2 was now complete, and Tony Skase takes up the story.
It was yesterday afternoon that a small band of white-coated men claiming to be from Porton Down moved in on the holiday village to begin their elaborate operation. Residents and holidaymakers were warned to be on the lookout for Coypu, dead or alive. A frogman slipped into the river, and at either end of the village 2 census points complete with signs were set up on the road. Motorists were stopped and told to drive over a straw mattress after having their wheels sprayed with a disinfectant. They were also asked to fill in this questionnaire, nicely printed and said to be commissioned by the Department of the Environment for Bacteriological Research. But it was a warning about the danger of touching any of the so-called diseased animals that caused the hoax to misfire. Today, police were called in after Ministry of Agriculture officials had issued press releases denying any knowledge of the investigation. 5 hours ago, the hoaxers gave themselves up, a group of students from the University of East Anglia. It was all a rag stunt. Chris Ward and Adam Wyde helped organise it. Adam, what was the reaction of the villagers?
Well, they were really great, actually. It was very refreshing. I think this was the best part of the whole afternoon, that the local inhabitants were just so friendly, and they were so nice, and we were obviously very grateful to them for not being too annoyed or frustrated by our attempt at this stunt.
But some are reported to be alarmed at the possibility of disease spreading.
Well, we hope not. I don't know who you're referring to, but we issued instructions to all of our helpers, there are about 30 in all, and these say, and I can quote here, stress to anyone who asks that the disease is not injurious to humans, farm animals or domestic pets. And this recurs about 4 or 5 times in our instructions here, and every time we met anybody we made perfectly clear that there was absolutely no danger to humans or their pets.
Chris, I'm told the village policeman was at the scene. What happened?
Well, the village policeman turned up in his minivan, as the local bobby, and he was quite intrigued. He could see all these people. He was surprised he hadn't been informed, of course, but it was sufficiently authentic to look like really a Coypu control operation. And he just sat there and chatted for a while about the Coypu his dog had seen and how they used to play, the dog and the Coypu play together or something. And then he just went, as simple as that.
You really did take him in?
We took in the police, and we also seem to have taken in the press as well.
Well, how many vehicles were stopped in all?
Well, impossible to estimate. We gather about, well, 1 every 30 seconds, say, but no more than 4 ever built up at any one time.
Well, you know, there are going to be people who are going to say you were irresponsible.
Well, I don't see why they should.
You set up roadblocks.
Well, certainly, but I mean, it is all for publicity, and we certainly seem to have achieved publicity. And this is publicity of our Rag Week, which will take place June the 14th to 21st, and we hope to raise £5,000 for local charities. And I hope people aren't annoyed by that anyway.
But didn't you go too far when you mentioned Porton Down? After all, it's a place where they take good care of deadly germs.
Yes, in fact, in point of fact, what's it called?
Porton Down.
Porton Down was scarcely ever mentioned. It doesn't occur on any of the documents you showed on the television. It may have occurred sometimes in conversation, but no great stress was laid upon it at all. It was really intended as a reserve that we could refer to as being from there, not local.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you very much.
Chris Ward and Adam Wyde talking there to Tony Scase, The Wind Up the Willows of Horning.
Diseased Coypus hunted. Officials from Porton Down, the Government Chemical Research Station, set up disinfectant roadblocks around Horning on Norfolk Broads village yesterday and warned residents of disease-threatening domestic pets. The disease, affecting the blood, is carried by Coypu, a large, rat-like South American animal that were introduced into Britain, like mink, to be bred for fur. They infest the Broads area, and local people were yesterday questioned about infected or dead Coypu seen in the area.